Hi, I'm Milton.
And I'm Bert.
Welcome to World African Experience.
Right. So yeah, today we've got something special. That special edition. We've been locked indoors due to COVID-19, and suddenly we were allowed to go out. So we went out and we experienced a bit of some rhino trekking. It was
Yes.
pretty cool.
We went it's not very far from Harare, about 30 kilometers from Harare. We went to Lake Chivero Recreational Park, which is one of the amazing park we have around here. When it comes to the game around, bit of lovely Minyombo woodland and Plains game bedding, lake very close by, and the rhino experience is just
It
something
was
else.
just phenomenal. I've never been to Chivero, so I wasn't sure, but that's dead smack in the bush. Shocking, eh? Like the animals are quite relaxed. There's no sound coming from the main road. It's a bit far off. It's pretty much off the beaten track. That's
Yeah,
quite interesting.
I was very amazed to see the rhinos coming to the camp, walking by, without any problems, not getting disturbed. And later, when we went for that walk, we had some amazing encounters. That was
Whoa,
very
that was pretty intense, yeah. So basically, we get 5 types of rhino in the wild, in the whole world, right? And here in Southern Africa, we have the black and the white rhino.
That's right. We also have what is known as the Javan rhino, Sumatran rhino, and Indian rhino. And most of those, you get them in India, west of Indonesia, and the Sumatran island. Also referred to as greater horned rhino and lesser horned rhino.
Wow.
And very sad that the Javan rhino, it did had some problems, and like there was a bit of it was kind of a problem animal control, which made it the
Wow,
decline.
that's actually
because
quite
it was
sad,
gaining the pastures and all those things, which was very bad.
Yeah.
So it made it to decline.
That's quite interesting. And then now you find that we've got back to here. We encountered the white rhino, that big bull. Pretty interesting animals, eh? Highly endangered, which is something that we need to be wary of because they don't breed as much as they have been put down with illegal with poaching per se. But you find that the white rhino, I think we still have a bit of them.
Yeah, we still have a bit of them. Generally, we have about 30,000 rhinos, between 20 and 30,000 rhinos still left in the whole world. But in Southern Africa, we're talking of both black and white, we're talking about 5,500 thereabouts. And we are losing about 3.5 rhinos per day.
Wow.
And which is quite sad.
That's a lot.
We've come up with so many strategies to make sure that the poaching is going to ease up a bit from all those when it comes to dehorning rhinos.
That male that we saw here was
Yes,
dehorned, yeah?
And there are so many tricks which have come up, which have put in place, but some of them we cannot reveal that for security reasons.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
But
Yeah.
we know that we are very vigilant in our parks and all the private game reserves.
Wow.
We're very vigilant when it comes to rhino monitoring and everything. Yeah.
No, that's quite interesting. So, but we're going to take our viewers to the footage that we took last weekend, and where we did a few approaches on the white rhino, which is the one that grazes and spends time in the open plains mainly. The other one, they don't have it, but it's more of a thickets animal, and it's a browser. It feeds off trees. So it was a very good one because we were walking with some novices, so they were a bit skeptical about how we're going to approach and how it's going to turn out. So, but it went out quite well, eh?
Very well, very well.
I was impressed with the ash bag.
Oh yeah. You know what? Rhinos, they're very amazing when it comes to their hearing, acute hearing. You always see the ears twitching omnidirectional, trying to detect the sound from everywhere. And at the same time, they've got a poor eyesight, but very good sense of smelling.
Wow.
So by using an ash bag, it works very well because when you don't want an animal to meet you halfway.
Yeah, we were always upwind, and it was a good advantage. I don't think we were ready for running.
No, not at all, not at all. But they can attain about between 35 and 40 kilometers an hour, a white rhino, which is such a huge animal. known to weigh all the way close up to 3 tons. It marks attaining such a speed. You know, it's stunning. But anyway, we're talking about the white rhino, and some would wonder, why is it white and black? You know, talking about the white. The name white derived from the term Afrikaans name veit, which is referring to the wide. But we also call it square-lipped rhino.
Square-lipped rhino.
So there isn't any color difference between the two, both black and white. They have the same colors. But the black rhino, we'll talk about the hook lip, which is totally different to the black.
And the size difference is quite immense, because the white rhino is the second biggest land mammal from the elephant.
Absolutely.
And it weighs about 3 tons to 3.5 tons sometimes. And then you get the black rhino is about 1.2 to 1,800 kilograms. That's so tiny, But this horn of a black rhino is so huge.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about being chased and being turned into a society. That can happen so easy when it comes to black rhino, eh?
Yes. So the white rhino having such a long anterior horn and the posterior horn a little bit short and such a big head, they do possess, see the two pronounced hump at the back and such a huge head. They have what we call a hypertrophic niche ligament, which is attached from the occipital crest coming down to the first vertebrae. That makes to balance a bit, and then it makes a major difference to the black rhino, where you can see it has a concave back and very slender. But always when they're walking, they walk with the head held a little bit higher, because they'll be concentrating on feeding on the succulents and some few of trees of the same height, which is different. So white rhinos, always see them, they will be walking with their head down because of the grazing and smelling some lovely grass they prefer to tackle.
Wow, that's very interesting, eh? But so we'll take you to that footage so that you can see our amazing walks that we did over the weekend, and I hope you enjoy.
So one of the most important things when you're walking, we do walk in a single file, all right? And then I will be in front. And the reason why I'm in front is I've got a field-wide vision. I can see what's happening, and I'll be able to control you. And one of the most important things, please, do not run away from me. Just listen to my instructions without questioning, and then you can always ask questions a little bit later. All right. Please avoid just making noise as you approach. Okay. I'll be using an ash bag, which is very good for wind direction. When it comes to detect. And then as you approach that rhino, please, you're gonna be approaching a very safe distance. Okay. And then sometimes we might not be able to talk. We then resort into sign language. The first sign, that means stop. And then if you see me pulling the way my hand backwards, that means let's go back. All right. And if you see me doing like this, that means let's go down. I'm not gonna give you a lot of those, but the best thing for you to do, just observe me. Of whatever I do, and then you will. Otherwise, it's okay. Enjoy yourself.
It's a replica of an ash bag. So what you do normally, if you go like this, the wind is blowing that way, so which means we are upwind, which is good for us. So the only thing we need to do is be extremely silent, but we just need to make sure we don't get too close to startle it, because once it gets startled, you don't know whether it's going to run towards you or away from you. Okay, you ready? Yeah. They start moving around, and then you just
but the egrets are not there for that. They're just companions. When the rhino is moving, it disturbs insects and then they eat the insects. Okay, simple as kettle. Yes. All right. Is trying to assess the situation, so because there are people talking at the back and us, it's now we've entered his comfort zone. That's going to make it even worse. It might run away. So we're in the comfort zone. It's not comfortable with us being here. Now it's calming down but walking away at the same time. It might take a minute. It might.
I love being out on foot. I love being out on foot. Really, with the fact that we are there and in the same area, very close proximity. The animal just enjoying feeding without getting disturbed by us. That is very good. You know, I awfully drive, but having a combination of the two, driving, walking, it's something which is very good to do.
Pretty
rhinos,
impressive.
White rhinos have become very kind of placid, but we always know that it's a wild animal. We need to respect its distances and making sure that if something goes wrong, we all have always need to be ready to take actions and maintain our distances and everything.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So, what would be the main story with the rhino horn? Well, what's the main story there? I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's made out of keratin. Keratin is just similar to our hair and our nails. But what's the fuss? You know, because it's something that people are always worrying about. So something that we need to probably put across there so that people know that maybe it's a myth that rhinos are being poached for their horn because they cured this and that. Science hasn't been able to prove it, but if it can cure something, I'm sure our hair can as well. And you know,
Yeah, you might as well compress to dreadlocks and find out we have a few of you guys are left. I just say compressed hair. It's like getting our fingernails together and put them in one area. After like a few years or so, they become solid and then cure something. You know, so there isn't any. I don't see the value of that. I don't see the value of a horn being used for all those things. But anyway, I think there isn't any. To me, there isn't any value. Why can we not do that to our fingernails? Like you say?
Yeah. No, it's quite sad. I've been to a museum in Bechendal some years back, and they've got like specimens of rhino horn that used to be up to 2.5 meters, 2.2 meters actually. That's one rhino horn. But now our rhino horns, you'll be lucky if they reach 30 centimeters. Eh? You can see the difference. Genetically, I think we've been doing something not so good that our animals have been dwindling from the horn itself, even with the tusks of the elephants. Sometimes no tusks. So the recessive genes, it's actually something that's probably worth addressing at some point. Eh?
Yeah, you know what? We of course caused a bit of it because of we had to dehorn them to take the interest off. But there's so many reasons for doing that. But dehorning, it works. Nobody owns a rhino. It's a state property. So you have to apply to become a trustee. And so many. There are some private game reserve where they have them, and but from Victoria Falls, all different provinces. But what you don't do only is to divulge the numbers for security reasons. But there are still there. We also have parks where they have black rhino and some certain areas, private game reserve, where they have white rhinos, depending on their terrain. If they've got grasslands, if they've got a little bit of rocky areas and succulents and all those. So they are still there here in Zimbabwe. Right?
Yeah, quite a few places. Yeah,
quite a few places.
Matebeleland, Harare, Vic Falls, you should be able to get a lot of nice rhino sightings around there.
Specially protected, right?
Specially protected. They're on the red list of endangered animals, and What we just need to do is make sure that at least for the next 15, 20 years, the numbers will get back to normal. Hopefully, or at least...
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what? I've realized, some 10 years ago, there were about 93 rhinos left in Botswana. But because of, there's a place where the president, that time there was Ian Kama, he donated the piece of land with another family, and then they were breeding. And then there was a lot of companies as well. We had to help rhinos on boundaries and then help it to breed. And then now the population has increased, and then they're starting to distribute them in different pockets of Botswana. And I've seen it working, and we are also doing the same in Zimbabwe. So we're talking of probably in the next 10 years, the population is going to increase because there's maximum protection. And remember that as well, in South Africa, most of those rhinos all around here, they still share the same DNA with the rhinos that were in a park called
Umfolozi, yeah.
where they were habituation, and a lot of things happened there. So they had to distribute in South Africa. So we're gonna win.
We will get there. We will get there. Yeah, yeah. It's the same story with you said Umfolozi, Hlui. They numbered up all their rhinos. I think there were about 116, and then now they've got over 20,000. Because the numbers had dwindled so badly. So yeah, so we hope for the best, and then all these folks that are hands-on in making sure that the animal is protected, we should just make sure that we give them our maximum support, and just remember, conservation is key. It's life, and we need to make sure our animals are always on point and the numbers grow. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed our special edition of the Rhinos.